Today we are learning plaid filling, so named, I suppose, because it creates a rather plaid-looking pattern. This is another stitch and name I couldn't find the exact origins of, but it has been around since at least 1934, when it was mentioned in Mary Thomas's Dictionary of Embroidery Stitches. We're starting with a regular trellis stitch. The size of your squares will determine how big the hashtags we place over the top will be, so adjust to your preference. Starting in the same direction as our ground threads, so we're going over the crossing threads, we'll make 2 parallel short stitches in the first square, extending into the surrounding squares just a bit. We can then place 2 more parallel short stitches in the perpendicular direction to make a good old hashtag, pound sign, whatever you recognize in this shape. We'll then continue placing this cross-hatched stitch pattern in every other square, with those empty squares in between allowing space for the ends of the stitches without anything running into each other. Of course, you can also reverse the creation of the cross-hatching, which is how I teach this stitch in the pattern, placing the first set of straight stitches parallel to the crossing threads, going over the ground threads. Consistency across the section is nice, but there's not a huge visual difference between these two options. You can also spread out your hashtags even more, leaving an entire empty row between the offset patterns of couching stitches. This is a good moment to point out those partial stitches too. If you're stitching in a nice square shape, you may have perfectly clean edges with whole stitches only, but in this pattern, you'll almost always run into curved edges and pointed corners that will require a partial stitch to continue the pattern without a blank space. With this design, that just means placing little straight stitches where a full cross hatch would be, but runs into the edge. And that is plaid filling. Don't forget to add an outline stitch around the border if you'd like. And we're done!